And we have yosheve, that's the masculine plural form of the participle.
Right.
Here
now, is that considered the verb? I mean, not the verb, but I just remember
no,
you said
it's not a verb. You're right. Just a second. You're right to ask, because the participle may serve as a noun, as a verb, or as an adjective. Okay. Here, what do you think of these three options? What is the best way of understanding the participle here?
Well, I thought maybe because it was a, what did you say? No,
I said null copula, but you can say there is no verb here. It's a verbless sentence, or it's a verbless clause.
But isn't it like, because the verbal comes right after this first word, normally the verb comes first and then it's a subject. So is that where the is comes from?
Okay, the is comes from the need of the English to have a verb. In English, you cannot have a clause without a verb this way. So, for instance, let's go simple. Okay, how would you say? Okay, let's take an English sentence and turn it into Hebrew. Okay, the man. Let's sentence. So we'll start it with a capital letter. The man is big. Great. Okay. The man is great. How would that be in Hebrew? What is the man in Hebrew?
Ha'ish.
Ha'ish. Right. So this would be rendered as Ha'ish. Right. We have the aleph, so the definite article before it would get a kamatz, not a patach. Okay, so we have ha'ish. Come on. Okay, it doesn't want to behave. Okay, ha'ish. Then how would we say great? Betsy, how is great in Hebrew?
Gadol.
Gadol, right. Ha'ish, gadol. Now, you can see there is nothing here that renders the word is lexically. Ha'ish gadol. Now, by the way, we've talked about Greek earlier today. It's the same in Greek. Okay, in Greek, you would also have that kind, in classical Greek, I mean, modern Greek, I think, behaves differently. But you would also have this type of a sentence where you don't have to have a verb equivalent, or which is part of the infinitive to be. Okay, you don't have am, is, are in Hebrew. Okay, you don't have to have anything here. This is already a sentence. Ha'ish gadol. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if you want to talk in the past that the man was great?
That's an excellent question. And you know what I would have done?
Yeah.
I would have done exactly the same thing. Ha'ish gadol. I would mark, you're right that there is haya, but I would not usually mark this. The context of the story, which usually is reflected by the vayiktol verbs around it, would tell you contextually, okay, that this nominal sentence should be translated as is, or was, or will be. That is to say, we said, we started from the English, but now if you ask me, what's the translation of the Hebrew sentence ha'ish gadol? I could tell you, oh, this could be the man was great, the man is great, or the man will be great, because there is no verb to reflect the tense. Now, I'm not just coming up with this out of my own feverish thinking, okay? If you open if you open the book of Samuel and you read about Nabal, right? Remember the story of Nabal the Carmelite? Okay. The description of that guy is Vehaish Gadol Meod. Okay. That's 1 Samuel 25:2. Okay. So the word Meod is an adverb, okay, but it is an adjunct in the sense that we don't have to have it in the sentence. So simply ve haish gadol, if you open your, if you open your English translations of 1 Samuel 25:2, you'd see the man was great or wealthy or rich, very rich, because we have the adverb me'od following it. V'ha'ish gadol me'od. Okay. Okay. So this is what we have here. V'ha'ish gadol me'od. That's a quote from 1 Samuel 25:2, and you can see it is clearly talking about a past story, but the context is providing us with that information and not anything in the sentence itself. Moreover, you may have adverbs of time saying, like on that day, now, tomorrow, yesterday, thus delivering the temporal aspect by a temporal adverb. But in and of itself, the sentence Ha'ish Gadol could be past, present, or future. Okay, Gary? You're right that Haya could work for that. Usually in biblical Hebrew, Vayehi, okay? But we can have Haya. But in nominal sentences, usually you'd see the context. And if you don't have a verb, you don't have any tense to reflect that tense, that temporal aspect. Okay, so Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha could be happy were those who dwelt in your house, happy those who are dwelling in your house, and happy will be those who dwell in your house. Okay, I think that here it doesn't have to be, we don't need that tense here because we don't have a temporal aspect. It's